So I have to tell you about the time I left a $100,000 whale booger on the beach. Just walked away from it. I was in grad school at the University of Central Florida when someone invited me to go on an epic spring break trip. He was going to canoe the entire length of the Everglades, camping the whole time. I was totally in. It was pretty incredible. We paddled through miles of mangrove trees, rivers, and bays. We saw dolphins, spoonbills, egrets, ibis, osprey, and unreal mosquitoes. The Everglades were awesome, but tiring. The last full day of our trip was hard. We were paddling in the ocean and the wind was piling water into the canoe so fast that one of us would paddle and the other would bail. But when we hit the beach, payoff. It wasn't a regular beach at all. It was covered with shells, not regular shells, huge shells. They were 6 to 10 inches long, all over. It was hard to walk, they were so thick. But they were all really thrashed. The corners and edges were broken, they were bleached or had holes in them. I was determined to find some cool shells. So I slowly walked the beach, looking carefully, and then I saw it. There among the shells, a lump. I thought it was a huge jellyfish, so I poked it with a stick. It wasn't a jellyfish. It was kind of hard. It was whitish, yellowish, lumpy, and had some irregular brown spots, and it smelled organic. It didn't stink. It didn't have any tentacles or organs that I could see. It was just kind of a stiff blob. I took out a knife and cut a bit of it. It was more like wax than anything, but I was sure it wasn't wax. This thing bugged me. What was it? I'd lived by the ocean a lot. East Coast, West Coast, Hawaii, Micronesia, and now Florida. I knew stuff, but I didn't know what this was, and it really bugged me. You ever have those moments when you know something is up, but you don't know what it is? I mean, you know something is going on, but you can't put your finger on what it is? It's a deep, almost sixth sense thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I was having one of those moments on the beach. What was this thing? Then I thought of sperm whales. Do sperm whales? Ew, I had touched it and it was kind of sticky. Gross. I washed my hands, and that was it. Forgot about it. Fast forward about 20 years. I'm living here in Colorado. My daughter's at the dinner table talking about random stuff from school. She pipes up, "We heard that somebody sold a whale booger for $80,000. No way, I said. That's crazy talk. My wife looked over from her reading and said, "No, it's not. It isn't a booger. It was probably ambergris." I was like, "What the heck is ambergris?" She says, "You haven't heard of that? It's this really rare substance that whales make in their intestines. It's worth tons of money. I think they use it in really expensive perfumes." Right then, I got a weird feeling. So I go over and pop open a laptop, Ambergris. Instantly, I get weak all over. What have I done? That was ambergris on the beach. Oh my. I click through some more headlines. $47,000, $80,000, $400,000. Stories and prices ranging from $26 to $100 per gram for high-quality white ambergris. Per gram. I remember that chunk. It was over a foot wide and 3 or 4 inches thick. That was a 4 or 5 pound hunk of ambergris. $100,000. I'm stunned. Crushed. I stammer out, "I left $100,000 on that beach. Could I go to Florida and rent a boat and stuff lasts for years?" No, I couldn't. There's no going back. Zero chance. It had been right there, and I walked away from it because I didn't know what it was worth. Don't do what I did. You know this thing you have, life? Some people will tell you it's just an accident, coincidence, it means nothing. But for some of you, there are times when it feels like something is calling you. Maybe you're alone and looking into the vastness of space at night, and you get that feeling, the sixth sense that there is something to this life, something more than the obvious. Maybe you look at a newborn and wonder, how does this just happen? And I don't mean that. I mean life, this world. It's incredibly complex. And the more we learn about it, the more complex it is, the less likely it is that you are a random chance in the universe. That's why I'm telling you this story. It's a true story. I could have done a lot with $100,000, but I can't go back in time and get it. And when this life is over, it's too late for you to go back and get it too. I believe there is purpose in this life. I believe there is a God who made us, who loves you. And that feeling you get, you're trying to put your hands on what it is, that is God calling you. Maybe right now. And I'm inviting you to investigate it. Yeah, I know, there are some who will say it's just a hunk of biology, useless, throw it back in the ocean, leave it on the beach. That's their call. But I'm talking to you. What will you do? What will you do with this lumpy, sometimes smelly, and definitely mysterious life? I believe there is something to this life, and something beyond it, something infinitely more valuable than hamburgers left on a beach. I believe there is eternity to win or lose. God is inviting you to search it out. And I don't think that's something you should just walk away from.